Hey, pre-algebra. Guess what? We have like 7 weeks. Oh, wait, no. Tuesday's passed. We have 6 weeks left of school. Crazy. And as we are getting all excited, might I remind you that we have a test on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Please check iGrade so that you know what the test is covering. I list everything out there so that you can go back into those sections of the book, practice some of the problems, and create your equation sheet. Perfect. All right. So what we are doing today, and this is the last section, it will be on the test. So please pay attention. I would highly recommend that you get these equations on, what am I trying to say? On your equation sheet. There we go. Okay, so we have, I'm going to use different colors today, guys. Woohoo! This will be so much fun. I have like dark blue and light blue, and I have like pink and red, and I technically have yellow, but you can't do yellow, so bye, Felicia. Okay, here we go. Cone. So if we were to do a cone, here are the two versions that we will be using. I don't really use this one a lot. I use this one all the time. So you pick what you want to do. But that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that one. Let's see here. What do we, here we'll come down here. We'll talk to this one. What do we need to find for volume of a cone? For volume of a cone, if you look at it, it's 1/3. So we don't need to find that. It's pi. We already know what pi is. That's 3.14. So we don't need to know what pi is. R will change based on the cone. So we need to know what R is, aka the radius. We discussed that last week. R is radius. And then we have H. H is, height. We need both of those in order to complete the formula so that we can solve the volume of the cone. Okay, moving on just a wee bit. Let's talk about, let's do blue. Let's do a pyramid. Now, I'm actually going to have two equations for this because it says area of the base, but I want you to see this. The area of this base is a square-based pyramid. We're not always going to have square-based pyramids. We could have rectangular-based pyramids. So if it is a square-based pyramid, you're going to use this formula. If it is a, sorry, I just hit my camera. If it is a rectangular-based pyramid, then you're going to use this formula. Y equals 1/3 length times width times height, or lowercase h, whatever you want to use. That's what you're going to use if you have a rectangle. Now, these two equations are technically the same. I just don't want you plugging in the wrong number. If you're like, oh, I have two numbers down here, which one do I plug in for B? You'll see what I'm saying when we go to the next page, but these are the two that we're working with. So you're either going to be plugging in B, which is the side length. So I sometimes say S for side length. Side length. You'll be plugging in H for height. If you have a rectangle, you'll be plugging in L. This is H. L for length and W for width. Whoa, I totally dyslexicked that again. There we go. Oh, I don't even think all of it was on the camera. My bad. Hopefully you can see it now. All right, and as if we couldn't repeat ourselves enough, let's do it one more time. Let's do light blue. We're going to start off practicing the cone where we need the radius. Ooh, that's a pretty color. And the height. Okay, let's go to the first cone right here. I'll do this one in this beautiful blue. For height, we have 24, but the diameter is 18. We don't need diameter, we need radius. So cut that diameter in half and you get 9. All right. Volume equals, again, go to the cone formula. 1/3 times 3.14 times 9 squared times 24. 4. If you use the pi button in your calculator, that's totally fine. Just know your answer is going to be slightly different from mine. Not a lot, just slightly. And that's okay. That's all right. Your answer literally would just be more exact than mine. I just don't want to write out decimals into infinity because then I would never actually be able to teach you. Okay, anyway, moving on. 1/3 times 3.14 times 81. I'm going to make that change real quick before I put everything into my calculator. Depending on your calculator, you might, you know what, I'm going to do one that you guys are used to. Or at least one that's not as fancy as that one. Because fancy calculators, man, you can plug in whatever you need. Okay, maybe not whatever you need, but I think they make life a lot easier. Oh, would you look at that? We're starting off great. Syntax error. Okay. Oh, look. It looks like I was already doing some. So I would do 1 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 81 times 24. I'd literally just type all that in and say equals. Boom. I would get 2,034.72. Now, your answer is not complete unless you put your units in, so that's centimeters cubed. All right. If you had put in pi, let me show you what that would look like. So I'd get rid of this, 1, 2, 3, there we go. And I would replace 4 with the pi button. There we go. And see how close our answers are? Look at that. That's so close. That is okay. That's okay. Now, if you had gotten like 4,000 or 3,000 on here and it was supposed to be like 2,000 something, that would be too big of an error. You would have to redo that. Okay, let's come down to number 2 and then we'll jump back up to number 3. I'm going to grab red. Why not? All right, in this one, we have our height, which is h, and our radius, which is 4. So since everything is kind of laid out for us, we can just simply plug it in. 1/3 times 3.14 times, which one's the radius? The 4. So that's 4 squared times 8. I go ahead and do this for my benefit. Whoa. Where I write it out, but instead of 4 squared, I put 16. And then I times by 8. It's just one less thing that you have to do on your calculator and one less thing to mess up. I know, it's like, what? You think we're going to mess up? Well, we are human. We are subject to error. 3.14. I'm just going to go ahead and use 3.14 for the rest of this. You can use the pi button. I just, in case, you know, someone's using a really old calculator that doesn't have the pi button, there you go. They can use this method and be just fine. There we go. Everything's plugged in. Boom. We get 133.97. If you had used the pi button, it probably would have been like 134 something. Don't forget the units, inches cubed. All right. If you'd like to pause the video and try these two on your own, by all means, go for it. And then we will come back together and try them all together. So pause the video and then come back when you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's change colors. I totally forgot to while you paused the video. Here we go. Let's see here. Height is 12. That was a pretty easy pick. This is the diameter, so our radius is 2. Volume equals 1/3 times 3.14 times radius squared times height. Again, for my benefit, I just write it out one more time. And then I go to plug it into my calculator, which if you do that, you're going to find 50.24 feet cubed. If you didn't put that, quick, put it in now. All right, let's do pink. Let's do pink. Pink. All right, for number 4, the height was 11 and the radius was 1. I know that was hard to see. I'm so sorry. If you accidentally said radius was 1/2, go ahead and switch that and then follow along with me. Volume equals 1/3 times pi. Again, things we already know, but what's different is radius, 1 squared, ooh, times 11. If you didn't catch that, 1 squared is just 1. All right, 3.14 times, or 1/3 times 3.14 times 1 times 11. You plug all that in and you should get 2.88 feet cubed. There we go. Very cool, very cool. All right, I'm going to finish up with pyramids in the next video. I'll see you there.